Is NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, a buy right now? Or should you wait? Over the next few minutes, I'll give you the complete picture, what the company actually does and how it makes money, what the chart and the technicals are telling us, whether the fundamentals back it up, what Wall Street thinks, the catalyst coming up, and the part most people skip, exactly where this trade would go wrong. I look at everything through a swing trade lens. Setups to hold for roughly 15 to 30 days, not day trades and not forever holds. Stick with me to the end for the honest verdict. Let's dig in. First, the business, because you should never trade a stock you can't explain in a sentence. So, what is NVIDIA and how does it actually make money? In plain terms, Oration operates as a data center scale AI infrastructure company. It's a technology company and worth about $5.0 trillion. To put that in context, that puts it among the largest companies in the market, a mega cap, which usually means steadier moves and deep liquidity. Why does the business matter for a trade? Because it tells you what actually moves the stock and whether a move has staying power or is just noise. With the what covered, let's get to the when. For a swing trade, timing is everything, and that starts with the chart. Now, the chart and the technicals. This is how we judge timing, and I'll explain each piece as we go, so it's useful, even if you're newer to this. Start with the moving averages. The 50-day average is the short-term trend. The 200-day is the long-term trend. When price is above both and they're rising, the trend is healthy. When it slips below, momentum is turning. Right now, NVIDIA is trading about 1% below its 50-day and 8% above its 200-day. So, momentum has cooled and the trend is in question. Next, momentum. The RSI runs from 0 to 100. Above 70 is overbought and can be due for a pause. Below 30 is oversold and beaten down. Here, it's a neutral 42, neither stretched nor washed out, which is a healthy place to enter from. On volume, it's lighter than usual, so the current move has less conviction behind it. I'd want to see buyers show up. Duh. It's about 13% below its 52-week high, close enough that there's room to run back toward the highs. Here's the thing though, a great chart on a weak business is a trap. So let's check the fundamentals. Is the company actually growing and what are you paying for it? On growth, earnings are growing fast, more than doubling from a year ago, and revenue is up about 85%. That matters because rising earnings and sales are what ultimately pull a stock higher. The chart is the when, the growth is the why. Now, valuation. The forward price to earnings ratio is simply what you pay today for a dollar of next year's expected earnings. Lower is cheaper. At about 16 times, that's a reasonable middle of the road valuation. Let's bring in two more things: what the pros think and what's coming up on the calendar. On Wall Street, 59 analysts cover it, and on balance, they rate it a strong buy. Take analyst ratings with a grain of salt, by the way. They're often slow to change and they rarely say sell. But a cluster of buys is at least a tailwind, not a headwind. On the calendar, the good news is there's no earnings report due during a typical 15 to 30 day hold, or so you avoid that big overnight gap risk, which is one less thing to worry about. Thing two. Now, the part most people skip, and it's the part that actually protects your money. Where does the NVIDIA trade go wrong? Let's look at both sides honestly. Here's the bear case. What kills this trade? Watch the longer term 200-day trend. Lose that, and the bigger trend has turned against you. That's your exit. And here's the bull case. If it holds that support and the trend keeps working, the path of least resistance is higher, and that's the move you're trying to ride. The honest truth is nobody knows which one plays out, so you don't predict, you manage. Decide your exit before you enter. Size the position so that being wrong at that level is a loss you can shrug off. Never bet the farm on one idea. And never let a swing trade quietly turn into a long-term investment just because it went against you. That discipline is the whole game. It's what separates traders who last from the ones who blow up. So, NVIDIA, buy or wait? My take. I'd wait on this one for now. The setup isn't clean yet. The trend hasn't fully turned in your favor, and forcing a trade here is lower odds. Patience is a position too. I'd rather miss the first move than catch a falling knife. Whatever you decide, do your own research, size it right, and manage your risk. No single trade should ever be able to hurt you. If this breakdown helped, hit subscribe. I do one of these plus my top swing picks every single market day on MoneyQuest Lab. And remember, this is educational only, not financial advice.